Okay, here is my garden tour. I'm gonna like speed through this so I don't have a really long video. So out the front door, there's my beautiful pots. Pretty. They're gonna die soon because it's gonna freeze. Whatever. So here's my front walkway. Got my little fountain going there. Yay. Driveway. Okay, so this area we've got a little berm by the front walk with some funky cool plants in it. Always got my kale going, which for me is more ornamental, although I should eat it. I just bought kale at the grocery store the other day, which is kind of silly when I have it growing in my front yard, but for here it's ornamental. So there's one of my favorite grasses. It's an annual, which sucks. So it dies every single year, but I plant it every single year because I love how dark purple it is. Papyrus, fun stuff, roses. All right, I should have done this on a shady day. So anyway, here's the front garden. Sorry for the sun glare. See if I can get out of the sun. Maybe not. I should definitely do this on a shady day. I'll film again some other day. But so there's the front. Gonna walk down the back here. There's one of my many hydrangeas. That one's called Pinky Winky. My stone steps. And we have a little retaining wall there. And looking back up. So down the steps. I like weird plants, so I have a lot of them. It's like, here's a funky cool tree. And then over here we've got some various different kinds of shrubs and trees, and this lighting's terrible. Okay, so I have to walk around the back side of this tree to show you how cool it is. This is a serpentine weeping birch. So if I get underneath it, you'll see the trunk is all curly-Q, like serpentine. So anyway, that's one of our fun trees. Going back around. This one you're not going to see very well during this lighting, but this is a silver lock Korean fir, which I can get into the shade and show you the needles. On one side they're silver, and on the top side it's green. So when you're looking up at the tree from underneath, it's really pretty. But anyway, so there's that, and we'll come back out here. Let's see. So that little pathway goes over to the patio, and then I have one of two of my weeping bald cypress here. This one I've got tied up because it was getting too far hanging out into the yard. And I want it to go up more instead of out, but it wasn't easy to tie up, so we got rope up to the deck there for that. So these are some cannas. These are new for us this year. Love the color. I'm totally ordering these in again next year. I'm a sucker for anything red and black foliage and gold foliage. So anyway, there's a pot. Back over this way, we've got another little garden over here. I have a lot of metal animals in the yard. I have an addiction to metal sculptures. I don't know if you can see that guy, but there's a bird that has a boulder for a belly. And he rocks, actually. Let's see if I can make him rock. See him go? So anyway, that's my funky little bird. If you look at him from the front here, he has funny little eyes. But, so around this bed then, got some bushes and some trees and some great big huge pots. And more of my favorite purple grass. A bunch of those around here. We lost 2 curly willow trees here this spring over the winter. So I'm kind of just filling back in this bare spot here, getting there. Then I have this berm. We have something mystery that's gone on in the yard here. Don't know what happened there, but we're fixing that. So anyway, this little area at the back of the property, which is all purple plants. The trees are Royal Frost birch, and then I've got 9 barks underneath. So gorgeous. And then we're gonna go walk through this area. There's our deck. It's huge. It's been too hot this summer to sit on it, so I'm looking forward to cooler days. So let's see, we'll go up here and we're gonna kind of walk around and through this area. So here's my other crazy big weeping bald cypress. So we've got him tied up to the deck here, and then he kind of spills over. A flagstone path that goes through that way. Maybe we'll take that pathway. So we go through here, and of course I have more. There's my limelight hydrangeas that look gorgeous. They're getting a little top heavy though, and they're a little dry, so they're kind of saggy. But more funky trees. I have an obsession with weird, freaky, unique evergreens and conifers. So right there I've got 3 totally weird ones, which are great. Back down this pathway here, and we're going to round out. Here's a stream I put in a couple summers ago. We went to Estes Park, and I got inspired because all of the rivers and everything up there decided to put a river, small river, in our yard. So there's my little waterfall. And then here's my LED tree. It's fake, permanent structure that used to light up in red, green, and white, but the wiring went bad on it, and so it doesn't do anything but sit there right now, but it's still cool. One of these days when I have absolutely nothing better to do, I'll come out and pull all the lights off of it and restring it with some mini Christmas lights or something. So, some yuccas, another funky tree, a really ugly trampoline we need to sell. Anyone want to buy a trampoline? So there's some tigerized sumac, which is a great little shrub, and another great big pot. This year I've got it filled with dragonwing begonias and a red wave petunia, which was a really pretty color, but I'm kind of less than impressed with the blooming on it, so whatever. Live and learn. Okay, so out here, come back around, we've got a little dry stream bed that comes off of the pond waterfall thing, just for runoff. And here's my vegetable gardens. So I'm not a vegetable gardener. I plant things back here in the spring. I have automatic sprinklers, and it goes off once a morning for 10 minutes unless somebody shuts my water off, in which case everything dies. And I come out here once every couple of weeks and pick stuff because I'm terrible about that. But see, we've got a bazillion cherry tomatoes that need to be picked. I have a lot of purple basil, which is awesome, and I need to pick and dry some of that. More funky tomatoes. Anybody need tomatoes? I got tomatoes. Let's see here, what else have we got? Got some peppers, some asparagus that's done for the season, some bindweed, that's nice. Some marigolds, because supposedly those keep rabbits away, but I tell you, I had rabbits this spring. Some green basil, which doesn't look too hot. Variegated oregano. I had some kohlrabi, but it hasn't done very well. And I had a cauliflower too, but the rabbits ate all that. So some peppers, more tomatoes, more peppers that aren't doing anything yet. Okay, so we'll walk up through here. Here's the little seats that I think would be nice to sit in someday and sip on a glass of wine and stare out on the people on the bike path, which, by the way, is right there. We planted all these trees in the common area here to try and give us some screen. And we lost a lot of the willows over the winter this year just because it was such a bad winter. But anyway, we keep planting. So there's the bike path. Okay, so we'll come through here. Reference point. Here's the stream again. That way. There's the ugly trampoline. Walk through. So I've got some more pots underneath here because the river birch trees that are growing back here have such a dense root system that nothing will grow in the ground. So I quit trying and went to pots. So another pot, metal tree, another pot. And then we've got curly willows, bunch of bald cypress over on this side. Not curly willows, those are Arctic blue willows. Along the fence here, they get cut down every spring. That's some random things from the house and our Halloween fence. Because, you know, you gotta have Halloween fence laying around. So, this is my pathetic attempt at a fairy garden. I am not a fairy gardener. Mine has no fairies in it. So, I've got a big banana growing, another funky, cool tree, bunch of bald cypress going up along the pathway here. There's my little cute little cart that I got and a wheelbarrow and some tools and stuff, so that's exciting. We had a lot of washout with rain, so we ended up putting this cobblestone in all along the fence, as did my neighbor. There's a columnar white pine tree, more columnar white pine trees. See, it's the evergreens. That's it doesn't look like much now. It looks pretty pathetic actually, but that's an oriental variegated spruce that's been through 3 different properties with me and has struggled all the way, but hopefully it's making a comeback because it's gorgeous when it looks good. Got some crab apples, pear trees, more metal animals. So there's an ant. And then I have this little column. Those other columns we looked at a minute ago, I'm going to do the same thing with. So I used to decorate my house with these like 15 years ago. So they're just sitting in the basement, and I think they're adorable as planters. So you flip them upside down, and in the hole on the top, put a plant. This is the corner that the rabbits eat. So like all my little plants here have been chewed to the ground. What do you do? So there's back up to the other side of the deck in the patio. Here's my little bench with my cute little weights for the garden. See? Aren't those adorable? Oh, and then I have this planter, which is like the lower half of a lady's face, which is cute, and her lips. Alright, let's see if we can go up and not get bothered by a neighbor who I saw out a minute ago. Here's a frog. Let's see what else we got. My hydrangeas. Here's my little Buddha head lady, if I can get the lighting right. Isn't she pretty? Some fence. There's a weeping larch serpentine. And then here's another little pathway. I've got feet for stepping stones, and then random blocks and a little metal grate. And then we lost some stuff over here, so I just planted these. These are Atlas blue cedar. They're not hardy here, but this side of the house is pretty protected, so I'm going to see if they'll grow. But they're kind of cool and weird, like everything. Alright, back out and up. Okay, and up we go, the final stretch. So this is my flagstone pathway, and I constantly am planting new things over here. Ground covers and steppable type things that you can walk on. Different sedums, Dahlberg daisies, thyme, that kind of stuff. So, and there's a lot of weeds in here right now too. I seriously need to get over here and get some weeding done. Love this little purple sedum. Isn't that gorgeous? A different color contrast. Get my shadow out of it with the Dahlbergs, and you know. So, looking over another tier. I have a hard time getting plants to grow in that spot, but that one's cool. That's a Slenderina spruce, another weird, crazy plant. Coming up, black chokeberry, weeping white spruce, one of my favorite trees. Hardy as heck, straight up like an arrow, super skinny. And then down the driveway, some more grasses. Little pathway I made to the neighbors. And some yuccas and stuff that doesn't need any maintenance. So there you go. That's my yard. Thanks for coming. Have a great day.